Hey guys, Ace here, and welcome back to another episode of the Honest Review series. For this episode, we will continue covering the recently released Elden Ring DLC, Shadow of the Erdtree. I am very excited to start covering Shadow Keep, which might be one of my favorite legacy dungeons from this DLC. However, this location is pretty expansive and large in size. So for that reason, this video will be split up into two parts. For the first part, which is this one, we will cover the following: entering Shadow Keep from the front entrance, and exploring what we can of the Specimen Storehouse area. We'll end this video off by going all the way up to the tippy top of the Specimen Storehouse to the main boss of the area, Mesmer. Once we access the Shadow Altus area, we are able to go to Shadow Keep by following this path here. You may notice how I pronounce Scadu. Well, I learned from another video that you're supposed to pronounce it as Shadow, so I'm gonna go ahead and roll with that because that just makes so much more sense. So, no, it's not the Scadutree, nor is it the Scadutree, it's Shadowtree. Don't ask me where I got Scadutree from, it was a silly mistake on my part. Anyways, let's not get sidetracked about pronunciation. This video is already going to be pretty lengthy. We run past the Furnace Giant because you can't even pay me in Shadowtree fragments to actually take down one of these things. There's another campsite right before the entrance of Shadow Keep, so we conquer that because why not? I didn't find anything of use here, so let's move on to the gate. Once we approach the front gate of Shadow Keep, we hear an interesting sound effect and get an interesting message, saying that somewhere a great rune has broken, and so is a powerful charm. This may be in reference to Miquella's great rune. We'll come across that in the part 2 episode. So let's take this lift up and investigate. Ah, nice, a site of grace. We can walk into this room with a shrine and... Wait, boss already? Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of this fight. You see, you can find these hippo enemies while roaming the realm of Shadow, but this was my first time encountering one of these things in this DLC. So I was pretty clueless on their attack patterns and whatnot. And that definitely shows because I died to this damn holy hippo a frequent amount of times. During this fight, I got pretty angry and hit my knee pretty hard against my desk, which caused this section of it to fall off, which made me sad. You see, when the hippo reaches his second phase at 50% health, he shows why he's called the Golden Hippo. I had many problems with this fight, which I'll explain in the honest review section at the end of the second video. So I'll just brief the main issue I had. This hippo is as flexible as a middle-aged woman who participates in yoga on the weekends. For some reason, he's able to reach his head all the way to his ass when doing certain attacks, which threw me off guard so many times. So yeah, this boss took too much away from me, like my runes and an important part of my desk. So I showed it who was the real boss here. Defeating this fat fuck will give you the Thorns aspect of the Crucible, which, hey, these incantations are always sick, so I'll take it. We really only have one way to go here, and that's this way. We get confirmation from this phantom that Mesmer, who was insanely hyped up during the trailers of this DLC, is the son of Queen Marika. So what is he doing here? We'll find that out later. For now, we need to knock these soldiers off of this edge right here. We don't really need to, but it's pretty fun to do. This Godric poser tries to sneakily stomp us off the side here, but it seems his timing was a bit off. Haha, knight. Good try, game. You can't fool me with these enemy placements, and he's chasing after me. And I'm dead. Great. Let's just try that again, but go this way. Okay, we can take these guys out with ease. This looks familiar. And there's a knight. Okay, well, clearly I just wasn't focusing enough. Let's try to go back up here, and I'm dead again. Okay, maybe let's try. I'm dead again. Maybe this? Nope, dead. You see a pattern here? This first section of Shadowkeep was brutal for me. I was low leveled when it came to Scadutree fragments, so I paused on going through Shadowkeep a bit to explore the realm of Shadow. Now I eventually came back in Felstwanga, and I had the pelt of a great red bear on my head to prove it. I started to utilize my black flame more, and that gave me a viable ranged option to take out these dang knights. It almost worked on this one, but I choked pretty badly. And this bastard wielding a spear decided it would be funny to send me free falling. Okay, is this really supposed to be this hard, or do I genuinely stink at this game? I was questioning my gamer skills while fighting this Black Knight again, but luckily it led me to victory this time. This archer guy wasn't too bad to take out. I found a pattern with his shots to where I could chuck my black balls of sludge at him and not get shot at by his arrows. This area right here features some of these militiamen from the base game, and they like to hide in the sand piles here next to these ships and pop out on you like they're hosting a surprise party for your 10th birthday. It can be annoying, but knowing to tread cautiously around these mini ships will save you in the end. If we take these stairs downwards, we can open up a shortcut leading back to the Hippogrice right here. We looped around back to this area with the Black Knight and a few soldiers. We take them out with ease, and grab a very cool ornament that acts as a left-handed rapier that can parry. We also came across some shadow men praying to a tree. Right below this tree is a cool talisman that increases our poise while drinking out of our flasks. I tried using it for a bit, but didn't really notice much, but hey, if it works for you, it works. We take out this knight guarding something I say is kinda cool, but I'll never use ever, and fight another knight that was hiding inside of this armory. Jeez, FromSoft, you guys love these Black Knights, don't you? At least they're starting to become fun to fight now that I have a strategy. We can climb this ladder here and open up this door, which acts as a pretty useless shortcut, but it's there, I guess. We then dash back to the Hippogrice to reset our flasks, use some runes, and finally advance the area a little bit more. Hidden ladder. This must lead to another ladder. Down here we can find the Domain of Dragons painting, and reading the item description gives us some cool lore bit about dragons. I don't know, cool, right? I thought that was it with this area, but I totally missed a faked wall we could hit. This leads us to a free roller coaster ride down to the bottom of the castle watering hole. Since this isn't part of Shadowkeep, I won't talk about this area yet until next episode, as we'll need to come down here to access the church district of Shadowkeep later on. So for now, we'll rest at this grace and continue on moving. We can explore near the water and find some items, but nothing really crazy. And here we come across the bane of my existence for this episode, a Fire Knight. Get used to these guys because they'll be everywhere here shortly. I quickly took this one out because I didn't want to deal with learning a new moveset, but it doesn't matter. Welcome to where these guys breed, the Specimen Storehouse. Yeah, this place is fucking sick. The look of it is magnificent. All of these taxidermy-like things of mythical beasts hanging from the ceiling, and there's even one of Queen Marika, huh? This place reminds me a bit of the Duke's Archives. Hell, and the Grand Archives. And a little bit of the Research Hall. This place is such a cool set piece, and it feels everlasting as you climb up the location, wondering how many damn floors does this place have? We took a secret route behind these books to find a lever that can move this bookcase. Inside this room, we can find the Bolt Drake Talisman +3, a very useful talisman that will help you negate a grand amount of lightning damage. So this place can get confusing to go through, so try to bear with me here. I'm gonna do my best. We slaughtered some innocent intellectual shadow people who were just trying to get a few pages in before they noticed me and blasted me with Mesmer's flames. I wasn't taking any chances here, so I took a majority of them out. A militiaman tried to get the jump on me, but coming off as aggressive isn't these guys' strong suit. Come on, they're so cute and little, I just want to pinch their cheeks. If we head left from this grace, we can come across a room with some shadow dwellers and an elevator. This path is important, and this will lead us to a region we'll need to access later to progress the main story. So let's just go ahead and get this out of the way now. Ooh, an item. I'll grab that. Alexander? Nope, just another wannabe. I miss you, Alexander. Yeah, we're going to be fighting a good amount of jars on this path, as well as the insides of the jars. Yuck. We get a view of an area that totally reminded me of the Research Hall from Bloodborne, and I love it. We'll be down here shortly. This Ash of War we got is a unique one for perfume bottles, a new weapon type added by this DLC. I mean, who wouldn't want to cosplay as a perfumer? That sounds like so much fun. We come across a genuinely terrifying sight of this thing running Mach speed at us, and head down these stairs to enter this infirmary-like area. Sorry, jar friends, I have to take you out. Your suffering will end, just let me hit you. Please, let me hit you. Please don't hurt me, you guys are scary. This item over here called the Iris of Grace will come in clutch later, so we'll hold on to this for now. Ha! Not this time. Nice! A Grace. We'll need it for this bit. You see, this is the West Rampart, and it likes to rain here sometimes. You know, like rain, lava, and magma. This pathetic sort up ahead is Salza, and he's the cause of the cloudy skies and dangerous weather conditions. Luckily, we can use Torrent here to try to dodge his rainfall. Once we get close to him, we can take him out and attain the spell he was using so we can make it rain ourselves. Oh, and we get this hood, which is pretty oversized and goofy looking. But come on, this has got to be a reference to Bloodborne. Swollen head? Please, FromSoft, please remaster Bloodborne, please. Going up these stairs in this elevator will lead us to a new region, the ancient ruins of Raul. I think that's how you pronounce it, I don't know. This is an endgame area, so we'll be back later for it. This is all we needed to do for now since we have this Grace right here, so we can come back to this place later when we need to. So we head back to the Specimen Storehouse. We accidentally come across another Fire Knight. Trust me, I don't want to fight these guys, they're tough. I mean, yeah, their movesets are pretty sick. And they eventually became fun to fight for me, but they're just scary with their fire and fast attacks. But we prevail and take this one out. If we backtrack a bit, we can find this room with a friend in it who drops some deep thoughts onto us.
After Lord Moke's slaying at his dynastic palace, it appears his body has been absconded with and taken straight to kind Mikola. What could they possibly have in mind for Lord Moke's remains? The implications are rather unnerving.
Some clever thoughts from a clever man. What are they doing to Moog's body? Where is it? And why do they have it? I hope these questions are answered later because that's an interesting situation and probably another Elden Ring rabbit hole to dive into. We can actually jump on top of this specimen to grab a revered spirit ash. This area is fun to explore due to the idea of having a jump button in your game. Good job, FromSoft. You finally caught on. The exploration is superb, and there's so much to jump on and reach here that I feel like I definitely missed some secrets, items, and more in this footage I got. Keep in mind, this is a first playthrough. These Fire Knights are starting to become cake now, which is good because I like cake in my mouth, not flames. By the time I got to exploring this balcony area, I was so invested in trying to find secrets hidden behind bookcases or secret areas I could jump to. I eventually came across this room with some shadow guys and a Fire Knight. Unbeknownst to me, these guys heal this Fire Knight if you don't take them out quick enough. I received backshots from a homing fireball, and found myself right at the bottom of the storehouse once again. Yikes. Now we gotta go all the way back up. I love the Souls experience. I would be pissed if this was any other game series, but I know internally that these games are gonna give me my birthday spankings like it was my 60th birthday. I love it. As we climb the Specimen Storehouse, we can get a better look at the taxidermy things dangling from the ceiling. We can see an item hanging off one of them. We'll grab that later. My instincts were telling me to jump on this foot here. I can make a joke about FromSoft and their foot fetishes, but it's been done multiple times, so I'll spare them this time. We climb this Marika thing, and finally, another Grace. And a cross, where Mikola left his right arm behind. Sheesh, by the time we find Mikola, he's just gonna be a stump. There's a note on this table from Ansbach, hinting that there's a way to the Scadutree from Shadowkeep, or at least to the ruins that lead to the Scadutree, which we've already found. I tried many ways to get this item dangling from Marika's hair, but ended up coming to the conclusion that we just can't get it right now. I almost got pushed off the edge here by this stupid bat, scrapped with another Fire Knight, killed 2 birds with 3 stones, took out the bats waiting to drop down on me after picking up a dung item. Oh hey, look, another Fire Knight, and another one. This right here reminds me of something, but I just can't put my finger on it. I'm joking, I won't say it, I've mentioned that damn game too many times this video. But hey, new paths have opened up. Here we can find Freya babbling and trying to understand these stone scriptures next to this lovely placed Grace here. With this specimen over here, we can now jump on top of it and grab a revered spirit ash. We can also go back to the 4th floor and jump down to this specimen. Okay, like I was saying. We can jump down here and grab the Pearl Drake Talisman plus 3, another insanely useful talisman. This one will help us greatly negate any damage that's non-physical. We warp back to the 7th floor and take this path that wasn't here before, which allows us to reach this area where we can jump down and pick up the Impenetrable Thorn Sorcery. Yeah, this thing is pretty sick. It basically allows you to summon the Shadowtree's thorns from the ground. Does it do good damage? I didn't test it out yet, but I want to say hopefully it does. I mention it this way because there seems to be a problem with weapons and spells looking very cool in this DLC, but being somewhat weak when testing them out. Still, this DLC is relatively new, so I bet patches will be released throughout the rest of the year to balance out these items. We can go back up to where we dropped, and this time head right, which will lead us to an epic duel with a named Fire Knight named Kood. This punk has a thrusting weapon that can shoot out Mesmer's flame. His reach is insane, and he's a scary fight, due to being right next to a very deep drop that could easily classify as a tarnished skydiving joint at this point. After defeating him, we get his cool helmet that, if worn, enhances Fire Knight skills, and we get an Ash of War that allows us to shoot that flame from our own thrusting weapons. Clearly there's a boss fight behind this door. Oh, wait, there's a Scadutree fragment here, never mind. Nah, the fight's up here behind this door, and boy have I been waiting for this one.
Mongrel intruder. That tarnished, it seemeth. Mother, wouldst thou truly lordship sanction in one so bereft of light? Yet, my purpose standeth unchanged. Those stripped of the grace of gold shall all meet death. In the embrace of Mesmer's flame.
This is Mesmer, the bastard who's the cause of that stupid flame taking half of our health every time it hits us. And he's the son of Queen Marika. His intro cutscene is badass, and boy does it build up so much hype for this fight. Speaking of the fight, hot damn it's hard. I died to him. A lot.
Stripped of the grace of gold shall all death. In the embrace of Mesmer's flame.
Man, the way he says that is so perfect. Definitely better than a Millennia's death message.
And I have never known defeat.
Yeah, I know.
However, I think this fight is insanely fair while being pretty difficult. I don't think FromSoft has hit a formula like that for a boss in a while. Mesmer starts out with a slam attack every time you enter the arena, followed by an area of effect explosion. And once you get the timings down for it, these attacks are pretty easy to dodge, but his combos are near everlasting. The thing with this fight is that it rewards you for dodging into Mesmer instead of away from him. You see, during some of his combos, he has a chance to pull a move where he'll throw Lingering Flame at the player. If you were to dodge away per se, you would get hit with his flame and get decked by his spear, more than likely killing you due to Mesmer's high damage output. But if you were to dodge into it, you won't get staggered, and you'll be ready to dodge his next attack. This fight encourages you to be brave, and a little bit aggressive, but it'll also teach you to not swing your weapon willy-nilly. You have multiple opportunities to attack him, you just have to recognize what moves end off his combos. Now, he's got a few moves that are very reminiscent of Millennia, this attack included. However, unlike that bullshit that was the waterfowl dance, you can actually dodge this about 50% of the time. Still, the learning curve of this boss is rough. I had to take a break after trying to fight him for about 30 minutes straight to let my muscle memory set in. But once I came back, I used my Mimic Tier and started to get pretty far within the fight. Then I realized there was a second phase. Haha, of course there is.
I will not suffer. A lord devoid of light. No, mother, forgive me. Soon tarnished. Wilt thou be taken in the jaws?
of the abyssal serpent, shorn of light.
This serpent thing was sealed behind Mesmer's eye, and now that he's crushed it, Base Serpent Mesmer has been released. The second phase here is also incredibly fun and fair, as well as maintaining a difficult aspect to it. Once I learned the timings of the damn snake attacks, I found it pretty fun to dodge through the massive bites. This phase stays pretty similar to the first phase, however I found at the end of his combos, keep in mind the same combos he had from his first phase, he likes to do this spin attack where he propels himself forward. Okay, I think that's enough talking on my end, let's let this winning fight play out. Mesmer is no more. For defeating him, we obtained his remembrance, as well as his kindling. His kindling will help break the seal leading into the Tower of Shadows found at the old Rao ruins. And his remembrance can give us one of two items when trading it in. The Spear of the Impaler, or Mesmer's Orb. Both look like solid options, but I chose taking the Spear even though I didn't have enough points in Dexterity. I think that's a great time to conclude part 1 out of 2 of covering the Shadowkeep Legacy Dungeon. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will be doing the honest review section at the end of the part 2 video of Shadowkeep. So, if you're interested, why don't you subscribe? I'm trying to make YouTube a primary focus in my life, and your support would be greatly appreciated. This is Ace speaking, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, and as always, peace out.